What is up, guys? My name
Guys.
is Corey Jones Jr. Welcome back, finally, to the Fourth Stringers podcast. Yes, your favorite sports podcast.
After one episode.
Yes. We took a little bit of hiatus, but we're back now. With me is my good friend.
I'm Chris.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not going to put on my last name.
Okay. So yeah, we're back full time now, trying to get this thing back up and running. So we're gonna go into the new NFL season starts tonight.
Yeah, the Bills and the Rams.
Yeah, I know you're excited.
I'm very excited. I couldn't sleep last night. I was full of nerves and excitement, and I'm amped.
As you should be.
My brother keeps sending me time checkpoints. It's like 6 hours till, 4 hours till. Oh my gosh.
That sounds lovely.
I'm just, if we lose, I swear.
I mean, you face the Rams, so if you lose,
I'm
it's
not going to be
that-
upset if we lose.
Yeah,
It's just, we're good. We're good enough to beat them.
yeah,
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So let's go into some of our topics we got.
Yeah,
going
so
on.
we
What's
have-
the first one?
So the first segment we're going to have today is our player that we're biggest on for 2022. I don't know if you have anything in mind right now.
I have one player in mind.
If you would like to do that ahead of time. We'll start from our favorite teams, and then we'll do one that's not our favorite team. How about that?
Okay.
Do you have one for the Eagles?
Of course, I have. Kind of two in one. Well, mainly Jalen Hurts, because I think Jalen, like this team, I am so happy with the moves how he made this offseason after his whole reputation of getting draft busts, unable to pick a wide receiver in the draft, dealing with Jalen Reagor, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, all that crap. And last year we were a team that people expect us to get like 4 wins at most. We ended up shocking the world, making it to the playoffs. Even if it was wild card,
You
we
shocked
made
me.
it.
Probably shocked you yourself.
Low key,
A little bit.
A little bit. But I'm so happy with the moves we made. We have A.J. Brown. We have a top 10 wide receiver on our roster. What? We haven't had anything like that since T.O. And that ended
What
badly.
about Deshaun Jackson?
We drafted him.
Okay, that's fair.
This is as far as trading for a wide receiver.
Okay.
So we got him. We have Devontae Smith as wide receiver 2 now.
When you say the whole T.O. trade thing, the Bills literally did that before the Eagles did.
That's crazy.
Or after, actually.
That's crazy.
But we traded for T.O. when we still had Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Bruh.
And then Diggs was like the next big wide receiver pickup we did after that, and that was like a 10-year difference, I feel like.
And now he's spending the rest of his career in Buffalo. So hey, that says a
Locked
lot about the
up.
organization.
But who's that other player you were saying you were big on?
So
For the Eagles.
Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith.
Jalen
okay.
Hurts, I believe, has the weapons he finally needs to break out and show that he is a good quarterback. He's done a lot of good work with a lot of the people who work with Tom Brady actually over the offseason. So I'm hoping that provides dividends. And Devontae Smith going from wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 2.
It just seems like a better role. for
It
him.
does,
Because
especially
it's less pressure on him, and he's a young
Exactly.
receiver developing. He has A.J. Brown above him.
Mhm.
I just think it's a better situation, not just for him, but like the whole team.
And when you look at what he did his first year, I mean, he almost broke 1,000 yards his
Yeah.
first year. He broke the rookie Eagles receiving record. He was doing good against CB1s in his
Yeah.
first year. Him against CB2s, oh, we gonna eat. We gonna eat. I'm ready for it.
For the record, he just did the whole eating from a bowl thing.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I'm not ashamed.
Cringe. Okay, what's one player you're biggest on that's not an Eagle?
I'd say Jamar Chase. I think that the trend that the NFL is going in right now with like putting together college teammates in the NFL is paying dividends, especially offensively. Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, they showed off that chemistry, that timing in their first season together, and they made all the way to Super Bowl. So I think with another year under his feet in the NFL, still with the same QB, still with the same coaching staff, I think Jamar is going to do a great job. I mean, he has the skill, he has the body. I mean, I think he can go against any CB1 on any given day and beat out. So, hey, I think he's got a chip on his shoulder a little bit, and I think he's going to really show out this season.
I can agree with that. So, the bill that I'm biggest on for the 2022 season, I think, is Gabe Davis.
That's fair.
I mean, we lost Cole Beasley and Emmanuel Sanders. We're gonna have to fill those roles because those two were dominant players in the league.
I think Emmanuel Sanders actually just announced yesterday he's retiring.
He just retired, yeah. But Gabe Davis, that playoff game,
He did torch the Chiefs a bit.
That's the best playoff performance by a wide receiver, pretty much. That's the most touchdowns in one game a receiver has had in the playoffs.
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. And watching it live was just ridiculous. Obviously, it ended with letdown, but it keeps our hopes higher for the next season. And I think that with Diggs going to be getting the usual attention he gets at wide receiver 1, especially week 1 against Jalen Ramsey, it's going to give Gabe Davis a big moment to shine.
That's a good point. Honestly, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I think Gabe Davis is one of those guys that is very underrated. Some people think he's like a 15 minutes of fame type guy. I mean, like that playoff game was the only highlight and that he's going to fall off. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
If he's given the time and the chance, he will show that he can keep up this play consistently. So he just has to show it now.
And another player from the Bills that I'm big on that people are going to be like, that's cap. Devin Singletary. You know, he averaged 4.6 yards per carry last season. And a lot of people are like, oh, the Bills' run game isn't very good. It wasn't, but we improved because we put more emphasis on the run. In 2020, we barely ran the ball, and our rushing attack was in the 20s.
Yeah, I remember because I had Singletary on my fantasy last season.
That's your fault.
He barely did anything for me.
LOL. Anyways, I just think that our run game is going to be a lot better. He has James Cook behind him to push him to do more. We upgraded our O-line. We got 2 offensive linemen from the Titans who blocked for Derrick Henry, and you give him any bit of a hole, he's gone. So giving Devin Singletary more of a chance to run the ball and get more yards per carry, I'm all for it. He had 860 yards on the season.
Good.
A lot of people think he didn't run that much. He actually did.
I will say, that's the one thing I feel like is very similar between our two teams, the Eagles and the Bills. We both have, like, a big room of running backs. Like, we don't have, like, necessarily one back that
you kind of have a committee.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. I think Singletary will do good. I think he's destined for like a bit of a breakout this year. But I am also worried about James Cook because I feel like he could possibly take that starting role.
Yeah,
so
and I mean, that's a good problem to have when you have 2 good backs. But one player that I'm big on for the NFL season that's not a Buffalo Bill would probably be NFL young boy. Okay. George Pickens.
Okay.
He looks terrifying.
He does.
I love it.
I've never seen a wide receiver just shove a dude off the line. Like
I mean, if you're at cornerback, you got to be ready for that because he can do that. You can shove him.
Yeah,
it's just he just looks like he's going to be so dominant. It depends on his quarterback play.
Definitely.
With Mitch. But I trust Mitch enough. He's made it to the playoffs before with nothing. So
Mitch is a good game manager.
With an offensive line that's... Well, the Steelers' O-line hasn't been that good since Villanueva left, but they have pieces.
Yeah.
I think with Najee and Pickens and Chase Claypool, they have something going there.
Definitely. I think Claypool will show that he's definitely a wide receiver 1. Now Juju's gone, he's definitely going to get a lot more minutes. And George Pickens can just slide in for that wide receiver 2 spot. Deontay Johnson, I'm sorry. He's decent, but I can't put all my trust in him. So I think he might just slide down the depth chart a bit. But honestly, as far as the QB situation there in Pittsburgh, I think Trubisky will be fine. I think he's a good game manager. I'll give him that. Yeah. I think he'll be good. I think he'll definitely like keep him afloat for a little bit, but I'm not going to lie. I just see Kenny Pickett taking over. I think by week 6 or 7, I feel like he's going to take over and have the starting job because Mitch is great. Mitch is fine. Like Mitch is okay, but you're not really winning a Super Bowl with Mitch Trubisky.
That's fair. I'd say they're rebuilding though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I mean, not rebuilding as far as like the Seahawks or the Lions are rebuilding, like, but they have to rebuild from where they were. So now we're gonna move on to our games of the week that we're like key focus on. Okay. I have the list of games here if you want to look at it real quick.
Okay.
But my game, I have 2 games of the week. Obviously the Bills Rams, just because it's the 1 and 2 in the power rankings, and it's the Bills are the Super Bowl favorites right now, going up against the 2021 Super Bowl champs.
As you should be, to be honest.
Yeah. And I think it's just going to be star-studded. It's going to be either high-scoring or a complete defensive game because both defenses are really good, both offenses are really good. It's 2, I wouldn't say super teams, but 2 big hitters. And then my next game is the Browns and the Panthers, just because I'm so excited to see that Baker Mayfield reunion.
Yes.
Did you hear what he said?
I
He said,
heard.
"I'm gonna f him up."
Yep. I saw it.
I wanna watch that game so badly.
Honestly, that is
I'm rooting for Baker.
Definitely.
They did him so dirty.
definitely. Oh, facts.
I mean, if you're gonna now, if Deshaun Watson wasn't kind of in this whole situation, I'd be like, okay, you're upgrading a quarterback.
yeah.
But they just were like, sorry, Baker, we kind of got this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he has legal issues? That's okay. We'll still give him a ton of money. A ton of money.
I'm not gonna lie.
Wait, I'm sorry.
you're
I'm sorry to cut you off, but they gave him all that money just for him to not play the first,
11
games. Just for him to play against the Texans. Huh, NFL. Anyways. But I want to see Baker get back because they just treated him like dirt the way they did. After he's the first quarterback to get them to the playoffs in how long?
He was labeled as their savior for like a hot minute.
Yeah, and then they were like, oh, Deshaun Watson. Like Thanos snap.
I'm gonna have to edit that in post. Okay.
Yeah.
But honestly, I agree. Like that's one of my games of the week. Obviously my first is the Eagles versus the Lions because I want to see Jalen, AJ, and Devontae go off. Bro, Eagles released a hype video for the season. Oh my God, it's so good. But that is my first game of the week for me. Second game is definitely Panthers versus Browns.
You just copied me.
Because there's no other good game I really enjoy.
What do you mean, the Broncos and Seahawks? Let's ride. He comes back to play against Seattle.
It's not as personal though. It's not much of a.
I wouldn't say it's as personal, but it's definitely still a good game to watch. He came out talking about Pete Carroll.
Like negatively?
Well, he said there were some issues, so we'll see what we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a good game, and that's a Monday night game too.
I think. Oh wait. Oh yeah, we'll have time. We'll be able to watch that.
Yeah, we can watch that together.
But but honestly, I'm not gonna lie though. I really am looking forward to the Panthers and Browns game, just because like I want to see. Not only do I want to, am I rooting for Baker, which I haven't done in a while, but like, I just love to see people like get what's coming to them, and I feel like the Browns are destined to get what's coming to them.
Yeah, they
this
had a
season.
good thing and they messed with it.
Facts. Like you have you treat Baker like garbage when he literally tried to play for them last season when he needed surgery. Like he needed surgery on his shoulders before the season started, and he was like, you know what? Nah, if I take surgery, I'm going to miss a whole bunch of games, maybe the whole season. So I'm going to just avoid it for right now and just play as best as I can. And it may not have been great, but there's something to putting your own health to the side for a bit for the love of your team.
Yeah.
And to just throw away someone like that. He was a former number 1 overall pick. To treat someone like that, that's crazy. That's
now
crazy.
The Panthers have 2 first-round picks on their team from the
and
same draft, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're gonna segue to our lock of the week. So basically, what team we think absolutely with no doubt is gonna win this week. Mine is the Ravens over the Jets. The Jets don't have Zach Wilson. It's Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco reunion with the Ravens. I just thought about that.
Yeah.
But the Jets aren't anything special. They had a good draft, but they're still the Jets.
I think their defense is going to definitely be a step better than last year.
Their defense will be set better, but they still have to form bonds, I think.
That's fair.
And I mean, Salah's a good coach.
Yeah.
And I think that they'll win more games than they did last year, but I still think that the Ravens with a chip on their shoulder, because they had so many injuries last year, I thought they would have been a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I think they compete with Cincinnati a lot more for the top spot in that division.
Yeah.
I think they come out firing on all cylinders.
I definitely respect Robert Saleh's like energy as a coach. When they drafted Sauce Gardner, his reaction, Sauce. Like I wish people greeted me like that when they see my name on their phone. That's how I want you to react when you see my name on your phone.
Does.
Huh?
Brandon does that whenever he sees it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, what's your lock of the week?
My lock of the week. Oh wow, it's not many. Okay, I guess I'd say Bengals over Steelers. Because the Bengals, they have that chemistry. They're coming off of a Super Bowl berth. Even though they lost, that's still a lot of experience that can roll over to the next season. And the Steelers, like you said, they're in a bit of a rebuilding year. Now, they could surprise me, but I feel like Joe Burrow is just a different league. Like I feel like he already has that mindset of like a Breeze or a Brady. and I think his skill will match that. I feel like it was close that his first year with Jamar. Well, last year was the second year, right?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like it definitely showed. Like when you have the weapons around him, like he can show. Like yeah, he has that. Like he's that guy. So I think he'll definitely like he might be in MVP talks in my opinion. I think he has a good chance because he has a great team around him. He has a wide receiver target that can possibly be the top 5 within the next like 2 seasons. I think that definitely the Bengals.
That top 5 is crowded right now, but
Very.
I know what you mean because it's like you have Cooper Kupp, you have Devontae Adams, you have Stephon Diggs. Who else am I missing? You got Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And you got.
Well, you had DK Metcalf, but I don't know if he's still.
I wouldn't have counted him top 5, probably top 7.
Okay. Interesting.
But it's a crowded wide receiver room.
Yeah. AJ Brown was up there, like even though Tannehill.
I wouldn't have put him top 5.
Really?
No, not in Tennessee's offense.
That's fair.
With the
Debo?
Eagles' offense, you can,
What about Debo?
Debo, that's tough. This isn't the conversation. That's for another week. Fantasy busts and beauties. My fantasy bust. It's Zeke.
Okay.
I don't think Dallas is gonna be good.
When are they ever? Okay.
But like, I don't see how he's gonna get He's gonna get better while he's aging more, and I mean, he's just, I don't know. They're not built to run.
I think
they go down by a ton of points, and then Dak. That's how Dak gets 400 yards a game. That's how Dak seems. I'm putting air quotes up. Good, because they're always behind. And I don't see the appeal in having Zeke in there if they're going to be down so quickly. They give up with the run so quick.
I think he's definitely gonna have a bit of a bigger workload because they.
I mean, no, Tony Pollard's there though.
They,
Tony Pollard's their receiving back on 3rd down.
Yeah.
So Zeke's only there on 1st and 2nd down. If they don't block, he's getting like maybe 40, 50 yards a game.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of fans have already said like they wouldn't mind replacing Zeke with Pollard because Pollard is more of a dynamic running back. They feel like I think Zeke's time in the sun is definitely
Zeke has the ability to be one of the top backs in the league, but
he was for a sec. Like even though I'm an Eagles fan, I can give as much respect to saying he was definitely like a top wide receiver in the league for a good.
Zeke?
I think I'm
running back.
Running back.
I was like, what are you talking about?
That's on me. Bringing that back as well.
LOL.
But he was definitely like a top running back for a good time in this league. Like, I think mid to late 2010s, like he was really good. Set the league on fire. Too bad it's coming to a quick end, but like he definitely has the skill. It's just whether it's been legal troubles, injury issues, scheme fit, I don't know. It's all coming down for him.
Yeah.
Maybe on a different team he could possibly like break out again and get back to his former glory, but I just don't see it this season. I don't see it.
Now, fantasy beauties. I don't know if you want to go first or you want me to go first.
I can go first.
Okay.
Fantasy beauties. Obviously, sorry to stay on the trend, but Jamar. I feel like Jamar is up for big points. I have him in one of my fantasy
someone
leagues.
Else.
Oh, shut up. Anyway, all right, pick some. Brandon Ayuk.
I can see that.
Wait, Brandon Ayuk, I think. So you have Debo still, but you still need a number 2.
Yeah.
Like
and I think George Kittle is going to get locked up more.
Possibly, yeah.
And I think he's questionable for week 1. Brandon Ayuk, he has a lot of upside this season.
Facts. He's definitely like he's in another one of my fantasy leagues. I think he is like when he got chances to show it, like he showed like at different points, like he has the potential to be one of the like core players in the offensive front. They just need to throw him the ball more, to be honest. Like
yeah.
But
he's got to prove he can get open.
I think he can definitely get open.
Yeah.
Even still, even if he can't, he has the build to where he can just either jump up and get it, or he can just block out with dude. Like he's a big body dude. So and his speed's not bad either. Like he's not like a Tyreek Hill, but like he can get there. He has some burners on him.
Yeah. My fantasy beauty would probably be Javonte Williams.
I can see that.
He went over Melvin Gordon so quickly, and I think with that offense, they're gonna be expecting the pass, boom, draw, boom, 10 yards.
Yep.
It's gonna. He's got so much upside. My brother was so big on him, and he gets upset every time he can't draft Javonte Williams now. So like I have him in multiple leagues, and I'm excited for what he's gonna do for my fantasy league, what he's gonna do for the Broncos. I think that whole division is stacked, but
So stacked.
I don't know who's winning the division. I mean, you got to put the Chiefs first, just because they won the division so many times in a row.
Yeah.
But you can't count any of those teams out.
You really can't. The only team I feel like might be like, okay, they might come up short is the Raiders, just because like you feel like they didn't make enough moves, even though getting Devontae Adams was a big one, a big move.
Yeah, but they lost Zay Jones then too.
Exactly.
I mean, Zay Jones isn't like, oh my gosh, our team's falling apart because it's Zay Jones. But like, sorry, that was the Bills fan in me. Oh my gosh. But I think even like counting the Raiders like that, they still made the playoffs last year over the Chargers. So you never know. It's the National Football League. Anything can happen. The Jaguars could make the playoffs.
And that's why I feel like I'm excited for the Eagles this season because of our changes. But I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high, because we've been in a situation before where we had like a dream team scenario and that just plummeted down to earth so quickly. So like people are saying we have a great chance of getting to the playoffs, double-digit wins. I think that's possible. Some people are going as far as saying we have a bit of a road to the Super Bowl possibly, because we have an easy schedule, and compared to all the other teams in the league, in the NFC at least, not many, like there are teams who are banged up, teams who have lost a lot of their core players, and teams who are in a bit of a rebuild. So we will see. I'm trying not to get my hopes up too high, but I know one thing. If we do somehow make it to the Super Bowl this year, I'm going to that Super Bowl. Phoenix, I am coming. I swear to God. There's nothing keeping me away from that stadium if we make it to the Super Bowl. That's a promise.
Imagine a Bills-Eagles Super Bowl.
I'm not ready for that.
I wouldn't be able to walk outside. Okay. This is our last segment, fantasy punishments. And us and our roommates, Matt and Jeremy, have been talking about...
I'll let you explain this one.
Basically, the loser of the fantasy league, you get a punishment. You got in last place. You deserved it.
Oh, wait. Mind you, we're in multiple leagues. This one specifically is our 10-man league with us and other classmates
on our campus.
Yeah.
So what Matt and I have been talking about is you send them to a WNBA game. Either nosebleed seats or courtside seats.
I hate the disrespect to WNBA. That's crazy.
Nobody goes to the games.
I'm a WNBA fan. Like, my favorite team is the Aces. My favorite player is Asia Wilson. It's the Las Vegas team. They actually are really good. I'm voting for them to win the championship.
It just sounds like a terrible experience going to the game because nobody goes. Nobody talks about it. And so we were thinking you have to sit there all 4 quarters. And you have to watch attentively. I was thinking you don't have your phone at all too.
Oh God.
That sounds awful.
Mind you, their plan originally was to send them to a WNBA game in Philly. I had to remind them, Philly has no WNBA team.
Nobody knows.
So the closest places that we can go is either New York or Washington D.C. I don't think anyone whoever loses is going to be able to be doing that. Like,
it's like a 3-hour trip.
Most people in our league don't have a car.
That's okay. We'll drop you off.
Oh my God.
We'll see you in a couple hours.
We're just going to join New York or D.C. while we're sitting there in the game?
Yeah, that's why it's a punishment. Well, what about you? Do you have a punishment?
Nah, I can't say I do. At least nothing I can say on air.
No. We need something, Corey.
I don't have anything in mind. Didn't Matt have an idea, like whoever loses has to wear like a dress or something for like a day?
We could probably do something where we make the loser wear a specific outfit.
There's one thing I have in mind, but I don't think anybody would go for it. So I used to take jiu-jitsu, and in the culture, one thing that they do, like celebrate you like getting to a new belt or a new rank. You walk down the line, right? All the other students are on either side of you, and as you walk down, they slap you with their belts on the back as hard as they can. Well, actually, on the front and back.
That sounds like a blast. I saw this one other thing. Some dude had to eat, I think, 5 Crunchwrap Supremes from Taco Bell, and he had to run a mile.
No.
Homie died. He's probably dead.
He's singing with my ancestors right now. I can't.
You feel bad, but, you know, be better at fantasy football. Draft better.
Oh,
Don't draft 4 quarterbacks. Corey.
Why see? We didn't have to do that. We didn't have to do that at all.
I had to.
We really didn't. But okay. Okay, so I believe that was the last of our topics.
Yeah, that was.
All right, bet. So, yeah, thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Fourth Stringers.
And we just wanted to make this known that it's kind of just like an introductory episode.
Yeah.
Maybe the episodes will be longer. We don't know exactly what we want to do.
Yeah.
We'll probably have our roommates Matt and Jeremy on some other episodes, but your main hosts are Corey and I, Chris.
Yes. And this is basically like a reintroductory to us, like a welcome back. Just so you can... Oh, God. If only you could see what I just saw from him. Anyway, don't do it. Don't do it again.
End the episode.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. God bless, and we will catch you guys later.
Go Bills.
Fly, Eagles, fly.